Go straight up, straight down to jump, absorb the contact in the chest.
Another one of those invisible plays by Heide. It doesn't necessarily show up in the stat box, but a play that gives the ball back to San Diego State. The Aztecs tied atop the Mountain West Conference at 12-2, 18-6 on the season. They've won their last 13 games in conference at home, and that ball trickles out of bounds. That'll be GCU ball.
San Diego State was trying to run zoom action on the right side, and Heide is supposed to dribble, hand it off to Bird, but for whatever reason, he did a laser pass, and Bird wasn't ready. You could literally see Brian Dutcher on the sideline saying, hand the ball off, son.
Dutcher will always give you some terrific basketball advice. When we saw him at shoot-around, we just said, we don't have any questions. Just tell us what we need to know, and he gave us just gold for the next 10 minutes.
He's one of the great shoot-around coaches to talk with. He just loves the game.
Shot clock continues to expire. Demerol, their best post scorer, a couple of fakes, picks up the bucket and the foul. Timeout on the floor. F.A. Demerol whirling, twirling, and faking his way to a bucket as the Lopes have galloped out to a great start on the road here in San Diego. Welcome back to San Diego. Grand Canyon with the 6-4 lead here in the early going of Viejas Arena. Well, good evening once again. Jordan Kent alongside my good friend Mike O'Donnell. And Mike, San Diego State, they've really been the class of the Mountain West over the last couple of years. A big reason for that, their suffocating defense year after year.
And they've gotten better throughout the course of the season. This is not the same Mountain West team and San Diego State team that we saw in November. This is a very connected defense, totally dialed in, playing like one of the best defenses in all of college basketball. You can see the first 13 games versus the last 11 games, the difference in points per a game allowed, and then McGrew-Guap, they have him back. He's been out for a few games, shot blocking threats.
Here's the resume for the Aztecs. They are currently, according to CBS Bracketology, in the last 4 in. They're going to have several opportunities for more quad one games coming up. But this is a team where every game down the stretch of the regular season is huge.
As the last 4 in, Jordan, you know, if the season ends today, that means your margin for error from a resume standpoint is very thin. One of the reasons why they're not in more of an at-large conversation is because they had that quadrant 3 loss, that overtime loss against Troy at home. But like you said, there's 3 more quadrant 1 opportunities left in the season, and then don't forget about the Mountain West tournament. It's a great thing about the Mountain West. Always going to be opportunities to boost your resume.
So you're saying there's great basketball coming in March?
You kidding me? Come on, man. What are we even talking about?
That last foul, by the way, on San Diego State was against Heide, and another turnover for San Diego State, their second of the game already. Moore, the transfer from Norfolk State. Demerol, mid-range jumper, too strong, careens off the backboard.
There's a reason why Demerol was wide open at 16 feet. It's because San Diego State will give him that all day. That's not his shot.
Dixon Waters, sandwiched between 2 defenders, able to get it off, but then a foul on the floor against GCU. And now we check out O'Donnell's rules for the Lopes.
Yeah, for defending Dixon Waters in the ball screen action, he's one of the more efficient pick-and-roll scorers, not just in the Mountain West, but in the country. Have to make him go one way, establish that early. You have to have early gap help to clog up those driving lanes, and don't be afraid to mix up your coverages. You've got to give great scorers different looks, or they will start to figure it out and pick you apart.
And right there, Dixon Waters on cue, picking apart the set defense.
That nice little pin down action off the baseline out of bounds.
Dixon Waters over the last 5 games has averaged more than 18 points per game. He sat out all of last year with a lower body injury. Moore nearly lost it, taps it to Owusu Anane. Owusu Anane closed in by 2 defenders. Henley, he spills to the floor. That's a travel. Aztec ball. You've seen a lot of slipping and sliding in the early going here from both teams.
This is actually the second time this game that Henley himself has slipped. He's clearly having an issue.
You wonder if you'll see the same shoes for the second half for Henley as he does the classic rub your hands on the backside of your soles, and now they're spending a little bit of extra time, and you look over, Vern Harris, veteran official, taking an extra look at the spot. We've seen a couple of players fall there. Brian Dutcher just says, let's get this game going here. So So we'll keep an eye on that. Our spill watch is at 2 so far, Mike.
I need to get a graphic for that.
Davis with 4 points. Guath on the block. Guath traveled. His pivot foot dragged a little bit. So now 3 turnovers for San Diego State.
Owusu-Onene does a good job of establishing position here. Watch his hands. He just absorbs the bump briefly. Good job of holding your ground.
Here's the press. Guath has to pull up his shorts as he hustles down the floor. Williams looking to initiate the half-court offense. Dusty Stromer into the game, number 8 for GCU. The quick closeouts on the perimeter. Owusu-Onene trying to weave a pass. Can't find it. Ball's on the floor. Scooped up by Davis. Earl Compton in the game with the mask for San Diego State. To the corner. Bird all alone. Still can't find a 3. He struggled from outside over the last 2 games.
And against Grand Canyon, he was 0 for 6 from 3 on the road.
He was 0 for 2 with just 4 points total against Nevada in that victory last game. Williams trying to create a little bit of airspace. He's hit. Is on the drive as Bird will come in and swat the shot.
One thing you will see Grand Canyon do is they'll get plenty of points in transition. They love to run some offense. It's kind of like phantom offense. And then they'll get individual guys just one-on-one going to make a play, especially in the backcourt with Henley and Williams.
You see a lot of substitutions for San Diego State. Sean Newman checking in, number 4. Taj DeGorville back in the game. Stromer fouled as he goes up. That foul on Magoon Guath. His first personal.
If you're looking at the score, you're just tuning in, you're saying, man, they're playing almost 7 minutes and it's only 6-6. These are 2 of the best defensive teams in college basketball. When you look at Ken Palm's adjusted defensive efficiency, both Grand Canyon and San Diego State, 2 top 30 teams.
Grand Canyon leads the conference in points per game allowed. A stifling 68 points per game they give up. San Diego State leads the conference in opponent field goal percentage. And that's been something they've been very impressive with year after year.
They do it a little bit differently. San Diego State does a much better job at forcing turnovers, steals, blocks, and forcing and getting unforced turnovers as well. But Grand Canyon, they defend the 3 at a pretty high level, 3rd in the Mountain West in 3-point field goal percentage defense. And they're top 40 in the nation of defending shots inside the arc, so from 2-point range.
And I've got to say this, we're by their bench. Their assistants on fire shouting defensive instruction. Dixon Waters, tough turnaround, no good. Wilhelm Breidenbach checking in for GCU, got that rebound. Henley, bit of a hesitation dribble, kicks it back out. Stromer, he'll let it fly from outside. He buries the tray.
What a great sign. The junior Dusty Stromer, transfer from Gonzaga, career 35% 3-point shooter. He has the capacity to give you 3-4 threes a game.
The first made 3 of the game for either team. DeGorville, usher to the baseline. Nice find. Newman, opposite corner, no good. Volleyballed alive by the Aztecs. Tay Simmons trying to carve out some real estate. Stromer battling him. He's going to be whistled for the foul, poking from behind. Stromer, his second personal.
Here's a good look for 3 from Stromer. I mean, they expected him to be one of the better 3-point shooters in the Mountain West. He's had a couple games where you've seen that, and a couple games where he hasn't quite found his rhythm.
A little surprising from San Diego State. We've seen how hard they've closed out on the perimeter to force the ball on the floor. DeGorville muscles his way to the cup, no good. And how about the rebound for Dennis Evans, who is key.
Nice kick.
Breidenbach up ahead. Oh, he tried to drop the hammer. Couldn't get it. Breidenbach. Some cruel intentions on the road.
And that was almost a vicious slam. Little contact there up at the rim.
The officials have let it be physical.
Oh, yeah.
At the point of attack. It's been consistent.
On both ends, 100%.
I made sure to say that within earshot as well, too. Here's DeGorville up top. Davis. Compton on the block, working his way around. Evans goes right around him for two.
Hard not to love Pharaoh Compton's game. Just a sophomore, that length and athleticism, it is elite.
He was the Aztecs' first top 100 recruit since 2005. Continues to deliver in his second year. But a quiet start for Williams. Back over to Moore. Moore sees two, gets the handoff from Evans, hides behind the screen and sticks the J.
Norfolk State transfer. Second team All Ivy League. Excuse me. Won the Lou Henson Award last season. Nation's top mid-major players.
Compton hit in midair. Free throws coming up for him. So San Diego State showing they can play physical in the paint. And for Brian Moore, a precision jump shot to maintain the lead for Grand Canyon. Lopes up 5.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Apartments.com and Homes.com. The place to find a place. By Geico. It feels good to Geico. And by Carvana. Carvana. They'll drive you happy.
Bryce Drew and Brian Dutcher following in their father's footsteps, who are Division I coaches. My dad was one. I saw how hard he had to work, and I said I wanted nothing to do with that. But right now, the Lopes want everything to do with this game. They're up 5, and they won earlier in this season, and this was a terrific game back on January 21st. With 7 seconds left, B.J. Davis misses the front end of a 1-and-1. They had a 1-point lead. Then the other end, a controversial foul maybe. Mekhi Williams gets fouled by Simmons. He goes to the line, hits both free throws. 3 sticks and waters. One more chance before the horn. It's no good, and a monstrous home win for the Lopes. And the biggest difference in this one, the 3-point shooting between these two teams.
That's the game, because Grand Canyon turned it over 16 times. And usually if you're turning it over more than 12 times against San Diego State, you're going to get run out of the building. But because of those threes for Grand Canyon, that's what got them the ball game.
San Diego State forces 15 turnovers per game. That's second in the Mountain West. And what all these teams that come in here to Viejas Arena need to do is hang on to the ball, because it can snowball real quick.
And one of the reasons why we keep talking about Grand Canyon making 10 threes in that game is that's not their game offensively. It's not what they do. They're actually last in the Mountain West in three-point field goal percentage, just 30% as a team.
They only average 6 makes per game.
Oh, boy.
And a turnover and another fall on the floor. You wonder if Davis had contact against Williams. But we have seen a lot of players slip on this court throughout this evening. And that will be a foul on Davis. They whistle it. That's his second. And that's huge if you're playing for Brian Dutcher and you pick up 2 fouls.
Yeah, and B.J. Davis is coming out with the second foul. Actually, Brian Dutcher has a very low 2-foul participation rate. And what that means is anytime a player gets 2 fouls, Brian Dutcher usually takes that player out almost immediately. And that partly, in fact, that's just his style, number one. And number two, it's a very, very deep San Diego State team.
The injury to LZ Harrington, they're expecting him back hopefully next week. Reminder, B.J. Davis would be the top scorer coming off the bench typically for San Diego State. He's now on the bench for 2 fouls. Henley over to Moore. He lines up the long 2, no good. Owusu Anane swoops in for the rebound, and that will be a foul on Compton.
Owusu Anane just has a big-time motor. There's the freshman, LZ Harrington, who's having a very good season. This kid is going to be so good for San Diego State in the years to come.
The way that San Diego State has built a culture where they can reload with freshmen that stick around here as well, too. They're one of the few teams, similar to maybe a Houston, you don't see a lot of transfers in and out every year. We've called San Diego State games for the last 3 years combined. We see the same guys year after year.
It's really interesting how much both Kelvin Sampson and Brian Dutcher demand of their teams on the defensive end, yet very rarely do you have a lot of transfers. And apparently, this late in the game, do I have to say it, the bank is open.
The bank remains open. Turnover forced by the Lopes. Up ahead, Henley. Whoa! The hocus pocus behind his back. throwdown. GCU. We see you. 8-point lead for the Lopes. Jaden Henley with quite possibly the play of the year in the Mountain West Conference. Stick around. We'll show you when we come back.
I wish we could actually catch up.
Here, now you can. Over this DiGiorno wood-fired style pizza with crispy, airy wood-fired style crust. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Okay, Richardson's, the holidays are done. It's February.
We thought so too, but then Verizon just gave us their best deal.
4 new iPhone 17s, all on them.
Now's the time for the best deals at Verizon. Like 4 iPhone 17s, all on us. No trade-in needed.
Love that spirit, folks.
Jaden Henley giving Grand Canyon an 8-point lead, but look at this play in transition, Mike O'Donnell.
Good gosh almighty. This is the type of stuff you do when you lower the rim in your backyard to 8 feet. That is ridiculous behind the back slam. Wow.
Some of us didn't have to lower the rim.
I'll set myself.
Nearly swatted away by Owusu Anane. The Lopes are the aggressor at the moment. They're flying around. Buckers is everywhere. Oh, Miles Heide closes the lid. We've got dunks for days in VAS Arena. Then a monster block on the other end, recouped by GCU. Henley left all alone for 3. Off the heel, ball batted around. It's down towards San Diego State. DeGorville rushing in traffic. Demerel scoops up the board. Henley stepping on the gas. Williams back to Henley. Henley knifing through the lane. Owusu Anane to Henley. Flurry of fakes, bodies everywhere. Williams works it around the horn. Owusu Anane, oh, nothing but net.
And that's the third made 3 for Grand Canyon. What a helter-skelter, 45 seconds?
We got action in San Diego, baby.
Man.
9-point lead for Grand Canyon. Complete polar opposite of their start a couple games ago at home against New Mexico. Newman fights his way. Watt in the corner. He can hit that. No good. Heide keeps it alive. Newman dumps it off. Heide right over Demerol. Picks up the bucket and the foul.
And that's what Sean Newman does. He is one of the more under control point guards. It's a 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. That is a monster dunk from Heide. And there's Newman. Patience. Right as he spun, you could tell he knew exactly where he was going to go with that. He just had to look at the rim, freeze the defense.
Heide with 4 points already. You've seen the block. You've seen the tap outs. This was a player that was the number 3 recruit out of the state of Washington, a top 30 center nationally when he came here to San Diego State. Has spent every season here as well, too. 3-point play is good for him. Now can GCU break the press? Guath gets a hand on it. Right into the arms of Mike O'Donnell. Almost a good thing for Grand Canyon because that resets the 10-second count that they were nearing in the backcourt.
That's a great point by you because the shot clock doesn't change, right? 24 seconds in the shot clock, but when it goes out of bounds, it resets.
Oh, Henley got behind the defense. The secondary was sleeping, and he gets the easy 2.
How about the pass from Owusu Anane? Smart, heady play.
Grand Canyon came to play on the road here. San Diego State has won 13 straight conference games here at VAS Arena. They trail by 8 with 8 minutes left in the first half. The Aztecs, one of the last 4 teams in the NCAA tournament according to CBS bracketology, could really use this win at home. Bird flips it up with the left. A couple of Aztecs flying in. No good. Evans scoops it up. Williams right behind Strummer. Oh, Bird got a wing on it, but they're going to whistle a goaltend. And Bird wants a review. Dutcher can't believe it. 2 points awarded to Grand Canyon. It is fast and furious in San Diego right now. Dutcher, we'll see if he wants to challenge this, but one more look. Bird
Oh,
Looks
that's a
pretty
block.
clean
No,
to
that
me.
is
We'll
absolutely
see
a
when
block.
we come back. As it stands, though, 10-point lead for Grand Canyon.
To the top.
Brenna, I want you to find happiness in who you are because you are the gold.
Family is not just here because you're winning. We'll always be proud of your kid.
When the program ends, I want to see that smile on your face.
10-point lead for Grand Canyon. As it stands right now, we have a San Diego State challenge on the blocked shot. It was ruled a goaltend. Mike O'Donnell, what do you see?
Yeah, this should absolutely get overturned. Looked like Bird was there in plenty of time for the block. The ball was still on the way up. Oh, yeah, that's clean.
He got it before it touches the glass as well, too. Great angle right there.
Yeah,
Bird. Some excellent recovery defense. Your reminders for what Coaches Made Challenge. Called out of bounds is what you see about 95% of the time. Very rarely do you get called basket interference or goaltending. And then, of course, the restricted area. But this one certainly warrants the challenge based upon what we see.
After review, the call is reversed. It will be San Diego State's ball underneath the basket because of the possession arrow when we get back from the timeout.
And that's a great clarification that we get there from Vern Harris, because there isn't a clean possession after the blocked shot, so it goes to the team with the possession.
And Coach Dutcher still retains one more official coach's challenge and keeps his timeout as well. So big win on the sideline for Brian Dutcher and his staff.
This has been an incredible game so far.
Man.
Grand Canyon shooting 53% from the field. A big reason for that, Jaden Henley. He's got 9 points on 4 of 6 shooting.
He's been really efficient. He's been focused on getting downhill. He's got that 1-3, but his ability to get to the rim, and that is just absolutely absurd. Smart play by leaking out of the backcourt during that San Diego State press on the far sideline.
Henley, it's his 4th team in 4 seasons. He's familiar with VS Arena. He played at UNLV last season. Averaged just under 13 points per game, but has really found a nice home at Grand Canyon and wanted to come to Grand Canyon because he wanted to handle the ball more.
He's so much more than a scorer. He's 6th in the Mountain West in scoring, yes, getting about just over 17 a game, but he's 8th in the Mountain West in rebounds and 6th in steals. Just a perfect culture fit for Grand Canyon's system.
Mike, we've got to talk about San Diego State's half-court offense. They're shooting just 33%. How did they get some more clean looks like this?
That's a shot that you want taking if you're San Diego State. Magoon Guath can absolutely shoot that 3.
The Aztecs now 0 for 5 from 3. They came into this game shooting 36%. That was 5th in the Mountain West. They have had a couple of clean looks. They're typically excellent from the corner 3 spot. Can't connect on it.
Well, let's watch, Jordan. The one thing that Grand Canyon is doing really well in this game is they are guarding all of San Diego State's away screens. The pin downs, the staggers that they love to run, they're guarding those to perfection so far.
Oh, that's blocked. Clean block by Magoon Guath.
One of the best shot blockers in the country.
Bird, he'll fire from outside, rattles home.
Oh, boy. That's a kid that only needs to see one go down, and he can get 4 or 5 of those quick.
A much-needed 3 to quench the drought for Miles Bird. The loudest the arena's been here in the first half, trying to urge their Aztecs back into this game. Moore, crafty dribble, can't get it. Williams, a mighty rebound. He is thrown for a loop. And that foul should be on Miles Heide. For Heide, it's his 2nd.
I love that Guath closed out with his right hand up. He was in perfect position to contest it, but then closes out, and then Miles Bird catches in rhythm. Good sign, just a reminder. He really struggled from 3 versus Grand Canyon. There's a previous matchup, and that lost. He went 0 for 6.
They changed the foul to Newman, so Newman picks up his first. That's huge because we know Brian Dutcher typically won't put you out there for too long if you've got 2 fouls. Demeril back into the game. That's going to be hit off the thigh of Henley. And I can't believe that's off of Henley.
Oh, I agree.
He let that roll out of bounds as if he was very confident that was off a San Diego State player.
Right, does Coach Dutcher want to review it now? He's looking over the sideline. Yep, here we go. He wants to review. Here we go.
That is absolutely off his knee. I was really surprised that Henley didn't make more of an effort to get this ball.
So you don't need a review because the officials just change it on their own.
Certainly helps San Diego State. You now pocket a challenge for possibly later in the game. Davis back on the floor for the Aztecs. Dixon Waters just 2 points, 1 of 4. Short on the lay-in. Demerol rips down the rebound. That foul will be on Heide. And that's his second.
That's his second, yep. That was a grown man
17th foul also, I must say, to interrupt you.
And from the freshman, Demerol. And how good has Demerol gotten over the course of the season? Coach Drew talked about how it's been inch by inch for him. He's gotten a little bit better because he's embraced the physicality. He said he wasn't used to physical practices every single day. And he said we had to get him used to physical practices every single day. And as he started to embrace it, his game has grown and grown and grown. And you look at those last 10 games of this season, putting up some really impressive numbers.
He's now 0 for 2 from the free throw line. This is the front end of a 1-and-1. GCU in the scoring drought of over 2 minutes.
And look at GCU just chasing all these screens.
Davis, tough shot, fading away. And a foul called on Brian Moore. That'll be his first.
Davis turns the corner, absorbs the contact. I'm not quite sure.
I don't agree with
what
that.
Do you want Moore to do there? Okay, so from that angle, there's a little bit of a bump. But the way this game has been called, I would, to me, you're letting that one go.
Completely agree with you. Davis misses the free throw, the junior from Modesto, California. He was one of 2 players to start all 31 games last year. And he's the only returner of those to do so. Splits a pair.
He has been a microwave off the bench for San Diego State. Getting the start with Elsie Harrington out.
Lopes trying to end the scoring drought. It's now nearing 3 minutes. To shoot. Lopes very extended. A bit of a gamble. Henley goes right to the cup. Can't get it. Demerol bats it alive against the backboard. Wow. Goes up, tries to dunk it. Can't finish it. But you have to love the heart and hustle from the freshman.
First of all, that was a tough, hezzy move for Henley. Almost got the, look at this. Holds his position. Big step. Fearlessness around the rim. Tough move from Henley. Demerol staying with the play.
It's the second foul on Farrell Compton, but now Demerol has to start hitting these free throws. He's 0 for 3. Grand Canyon, a team that shoots 76% from the free throw line. They are now 2 of 5 from the charity stripe this game.
4th best in the Mountain West. This is clearly an above average free throw shooting team in the Mountain West.
And Demerol is a 77% free throw shooter on the season. The way he plays, he's going to have 7 more trips to the line, it seems like. Hits his first one and thanks the basketball gods up above afterwards. 5-point lead for Grand Canyon. That snaps the scoring drought for them. Goreville gets the ball screen from Guath. To your point, you see how quickly GCU just gets to the point of attack defensively. Dixon Waters, tough shot. Demerol, rebound number 6.
Dixon Waters cannot get a single clean look in this game so far.
Breidenbach picks up the dribble. Hounded by Bird, looking for a safety outlet. Throws a fastball to Stromer.
How many post players could make that pass?
Not many. Williams. Bird gets a hand on it. 12 to shoot for GCU. They'll take it on the side. We mentioned the defensive prowess from both teams. We had that flurry of scoring about 5 minutes ago. This has become a stalemate, essentially, offensively between both these ball clubs. And Bach will check back out. Owusu Anane back on the floor. Henley catching, shot clock winding down. GCU's got to do something with it. Williams trying to beat the time, can't do it. Tumbles to the floor and a shot clock violation.
That is what San Diego State does. That's what they've done this season. That's what they've done for the last essentially 10 years. You used the phrase offensive stalemates. I mean, it's what they cause all the time.
Davis can't use the ball screen. Goes right into the double team. Owusu Anane able to corral it. Tough shot there by Davis on the baseline. Williams into the paint, trying to muscle his way in. Picks up the foul. Free throws coming up. One of the things he does best is Guaf picks up his second foul.
So you've got Magoo Guaf with 2 fouls, B.J. Davis with 2 fouls, and Pharaoh Compton with 2 fouls. Oh, excuse me, and Miles Heide with 2 fouls.
9 fouls already for San Diego State this half. Williams able to hit the free throw as we take a look at the Mountain West Conference standings. Not only is this game important for the tournament resume for the Aztecs, but to try and maintain their pace with Utah State at the top. And for Grand Canyon, they're trying to get a first-day bye in the Mountain West Conference tournament.
Yeah, right in the mix for that top 4 in the Mountain West. It has been a meteoric rise for Grand Canyon. I mean, it's an incredible athletics administration. And their basketball program has just continued to grow and grow and grow, and only going to get better.
First foul on Williams. As a player, you've been in games like this before where it begins physical, but then you notice the whistles are starting to tighten a little bit. How do you adjust?
You know, I would always talk to my guys, be like, look, set a good screen. I promise I will set my man up. If you give me a good screen, I'm going to set him up and find some rhythm.
Bird, difficult fadeaway, drops in. Bird now with 5 points, one of 3 Aztecs with 5 points. Davis and Heide. That's the team high.
Grand Canyon's not scored in over 4 minutes. No field goal.
A turnover. Bird in transition. No look dime to Newman, who's able to beat the pressure. And a timeout called by Grand Canyon. Bryce Drew wants a moment to break this down, but the Aztecs, they're always known for a patented run at home. This could be the spark that gets them going.
This has been Miles Bird's game. He's just finding some rhythm. Fade away, Jay, in the deep baseline. And then no look to Newman.
CBS Sports Network's coverage of college hoops continues tomorrow with a triple header tipping off at 7 Eastern. First up, it's George Mason hosting Dayton, followed by St. Mary's taking on Seattle. Then cap the night off with more Mountain West action between Colorado State and UNLV at 11. Let's talk some bubbles here. Mike O'Donnell, we've got 4 teams in and 4 teams out right now, according to CBS Sports bracketology.
There's going to be some movement. TCU loses to UCF, so there'll be some movement there. Virginia Tech also, when you look at that first 4 out at the bottom, Virginia Tech lost in a nail-biter by 1 point to Miami today. So you might see an additional Mountain West team, potentially even New Mexico, move into that first 4 out position.
Well, Grand Canyon has struggled to score the basketball over the last 4:36, 0 field goals during that span. They led by as many as 8 early on. San Diego State has started to chisel away at this lead.
Yeah, have to get the ball in the paint, and I don't mean off a post-up. I mean off a dribble penetration. Easier said than done against one of the best on-ball defensive teams in the country.
Stromer, clean look from outside. It's short. Newman pulls it down. The shooting woes continue. Simmons down low, moves furniture and throws it down. 1-point ball game here in Viejas Arena. 6-0 run for San Diego State. Moore got a couple more seconds, able to get it into the front court. Everything feels rushed right now for GCU, Mike. Owusu Anane, long 3, cans it, and a much-needed triple for the Lopes.
I mean, Grand Canyon is last in the Mountain West in three-point shooting in makes and percentage. They're 4 for 8 in this first half.
I was going to ask, how sustainable is that offense right there where they're just whipping it around and shooting a long three?
Well, they're not shooting and making lucky threes. They're all coming in rhythm.
De Gorville able to draw the contact. That foul against Owusu Anane. And De Gorville will head to the line.
Let's take a look at so just a smart pass to Tay Simmons. And here's the three at the other end. Owusu Anane shoots just over 36% from three. How good has Owusu Anane been? Transfer from Brown. Just a tank down low.
He's got 6 points, 3 rebounds. Well, coming up on AT&T at the half, Brent Stover, Wally Zerbiak, Emeka Okafor, and Gary Parrish will get you caught up on all the scores, highlights, and all the latest news in the world of college basketball. That's all coming up on AT&T at the half. We've got 3 distinguished gentlemen there, joined by Brent Stover. Should be a fun night in the studio for them.
Man, just a dagger to Brent Stover. He's not even here to defend himself.
Brent is great. We're at his alma mater, Kansas State, a couple days ago, where he was known to be a great distance runner. I know with all the great games we had throughout the country, we're looking forward to breaking down the action. 2-point lead for GCU, 2:30 left here in the first half. Henley been quiet since his flurry midway through the first half.
They're trying to go high-low to Demerol, but the ball pressure's too good.
Henley, one-on-one, step-back jumper, no good. Demerol had his eyes on it, but it hits off the top of the backboard, and that'll be San Diego State ball. Both teams in the bonus as we head towards halftime. San Diego State, as a reminder, 13 straight wins at home against conference opponents. GCU won the matchup earlier this season by 1 point in Phoenix. Newman changes direction behind the ball. Screen fading away in the baseline. Simmons clears out bodies, pulls down a crucial offensive rebound, and he is fouled.
Demerol better be careful here. He is screaming at the refs. His teammates doing a nice job of holding him back and trying to calm him down.
That foul was on Demerol, his second. So Tay Simmons, just another part of this deep bench that's the 3rd highest scoring bench in the country, comes in and brings defense, and another freshman that has a collegiate-ready body as well, too. One more look at the foul here.
Yeah,
see Demerol go fly.
Yeah, it really has great physicality for a freshman. He was a top 10 player out of the state of California. Coach Dutcher is just a master at getting young, talented players to accept a role, a lesser role than what they played coming out of high school.
Tied at 29 apiece. Miles Bird checks back in. And Demerol is trying to get it to a teammate. Feathers a pass, a little dangerous. Moore behind the defense. And quickly recovered as San Diego State scrambles on defense. You get the sense this crowd smells blood in the water and a chance to take the lead here. Williams, the three, no good. Rebound. And another physical play down low. Demerol can't handle it. Aztec ball. He's got more words for the official.
You know, Taj de Gorville and Tay Simmons for San Diego State have been really good on the interior, on both ends of the floor, providing some big-time minutes for the Aztecs.
San Diego State's last lead was when it was 2-0. Here comes that zone from GCU.
Yeah, and San Diego State worked on
They
this.
forgot about Simmons. Whoa! They blew the lid off the building. Turnover GCU. Aztecs sprinting down the floor. It's an excellent finish by de Gorville. It's an Aztec assault. Bird
No way.
on the floor.
Look at
Get
this.
the talent on it. He wants the orange.
Look at that.
If you don't love defense, you better not suit up for San Diego State. It's a madhouse in Viejas right now.
Man alive, they worked on this lob at shoot-around, timed it up perfectly. A dime and a flush. And Viejas is absolutely rocking right now. Miles Heide with the big-time effort play. Almost came up with a steal. Give me all that you got.
Well, it's ruled a held ball, possession, Grand Canyon.
Look at Heide. He is one of the best on-ball defenders in the country. Times up the dribble perfectly. He goes for the steal as the ball is on the floor. Smart.
Mike, there's been a lot of fireworks over the last minute here, but for GCU, you're still only down 4 points on the road to the #1 team in the Mountain West Conference. A bucket here could go a long way. Williams to the corner. Two to shoot. Williams got to get it off. Somehow finds it, and they're going to go ahead and review this. He might have been a little late here, Mike.
And my mistake earlier, Jordan, that was Miles Bird with the big-time effort play. Let's take a look at this.
At the top.
We're looking at the shot clock.
That is awfully close.
Man, that's close.
Further plays
Awfully close. We're going to review it to see if he beat the shot clock.
That's a pretty good internal clock by Williams. I think it's still in his hands.
I think it's still in his hands.
By a fraction of a second. Right there.
Yep.
Still in his hands.
A tremendous effort from Williams. Just
zero.
There's a shot clock violation. The basket did not get off.
Great angle there by our camera crew. Fingertips on the ball.
So San Diego State can hold for the last shot here. For the Aztecs, you're riding all the momentum in this game right now. Where does their quality look come from to close out the first half?
Well, what has worked is them looking for some high-low action. So let's see if Grand Canyon sits in a zone or if they're in man. It appears that they're going to stay in the man. I'd love something for Bird here.
It's an 8-0 Aztec run. They'd love to add on to it right before halftime. 12 seconds left. Newman up top, pounding the rock. Action coming. Simmons will set the ball screen. Newman turning the corner up top to Goreville to close out the half. It's short. And that will do it. A thrilling first half of basketball here in San Diego. The Aztecs lead 33-29. Simmons is their leading scorer with 6 for San Diego State as they close things out on an 8-0 run. That's the end of the first half. Grand Canyon trying to hang strong on the road against San Diego State. Stay tuned for AT&T at the half after these messages. Brent Stover, Wally Zerbiak, Emeka Okafor, and Gary Parrish. Welcome back to San Diego as we get set to start the second half of action here between Grand Canyon and San Diego State. A thrilling first half of basketball. Jordan Kent alongside Mike O'Donnell. Big reason this game is so close. The three-point shooting for the Lobes. That's how they beat San Diego State in their game earlier this year.
They've been really good in the first half, finding ways to manufacture three-point shots. And when you're getting it with paint touches, mostly just driving kicks and that extra weak side ability from that cut from that opposite side. Drive and kick. Owusu Anene knocked down 2 threes in that first half. And then when San Diego State went on a 8-0 run in the final 2:36 and really ignited that run from their defense. Grand Canyon had 7 turnovers in that first half. There's no way you can have 7 turnovers again and expect to win a game on the road in the second half.
The bench, as always, producing for San Diego State. It's the 3rd highest scoring bench in the nation. But the problem for the Aztec has been the three-point shot, just 1 of 7. Reminder, they only hit 3 in that loss in Phoenix to GCU. But for Grand Canyon, their offense cooled down considerably at the end of the first half. They'll have to find a way to get some easy looks. The Aztecs will begin the second half with the ball. Tay Simmons, the leading scorer off the bench with 6 points. But as always, it's a collective effort. 3 other players with 5. Bird shaking more. Tries to do the pocket pass to Heidi. Can't connect. That's a turnover. Henley up ahead. Henley patiently with the left-handed finish.
He is at his best when he's out in transition. Super efficient in fast break.
Couldn't ask for a better start if you're GCU. The Lopes led by as many as 8 in the first half. Davis down low, tries to worm his way up, can't get it. Demerel, another rebound. That's his 7th. Now Williams a little slow to get up for GCU as he trots down the court. Henley draws 2, steps through, nice find down low. Demerel able to trickle it in, and Grand Canyon has tied this game up.
How about the vision from Henley? The ball fake, the step through with his pivot foot. What a high IQ play.
Demerel, double watch for him. 7 points, 7 rebounds. Davis trying to turn the corner. Williams, great job getting in front of him. Bird tries to put Moore in jail. His long 3 is good. Almost stepped on the line.
You could just tell he's in a rhythm. On both ends of the floor, this is a Miles Bird type game.
It's an NBA shot. You get in the ISO situation right there, get the defender behind you, your footwork to step back and hit that triple.
Well, you said, he used the phrase, he put him in jail, but then he used the step back to create additional separation. My goodness.
Responds with a tough 2 of his own.
That was Moore snaking the ball screen. That's not an easy shot to make, that 10-footer, one-handed little push shot.
Moore with just 4 points. Bird curling, immediate find. Whoa! Oden tried to end the night. Demerel steps up and denies him.
What is happening tonight in San Diego?
What a defensive play from Demerel. It's so interesting. Start of the season, he was not a physical player. Bringing the lumber in the second half. Henley gets the friendly bounce on the road.
And that's the 5th made 3 for the Lopes. Nice little driving kick action.
How about the Lopes? They went scoreless without a field goal, actually, for 4.5 minutes at the end of the first half. They're 4 for 4 to start this second half. Davis, top balance, puts it up, no good. Henley, the rebound, wrestles it away between 2 defenders.
Ball screen action working for Grand Canyon right now.
Lopes in a flow at the moment.
They got another one.
Inside, that's going to be off the leg of Bird. Stromer to check in for Williams.
Should have watched this drive and kick right here. This is going to be really nice of going right at the defender. In that gap, you get the overhelp and then the kick. Smart, efficient, clean basketball from Moore.
Henley with 14 points, 6 of 10. He had 17 in that win on January 21st against San Diego State. Uso Anane was trying to go for the quick high-low. Moore quickly drives. Shot clock winding down. Moore using the ball screen. Demerel, what a catch and finish. Wow, the mitts on Demerel.
It's almost impossible to make that catch at 7'1". Demerel did it. Oh, a steal.
Then Moore with the steal. Trying to race ahead of 2 defenders. Fouled as he goes up. And the Lopes have found their second win as they now have a chance to add on to this lead. That foul on Davis.
There's no question that Grand Canyon is being the aggressor to start this second half. That is a tough one-handed catch from a 7'1" center. You can see it clearly, catches him on the left arm. Good individual play from Moore.
3rd foul on Davis. Brian Moore at the line. No good. So Grand Canyon continuing to struggle at the free throw line as we have a near line change for San Diego State. Guath, Compton, and Newman will all come in as Heidi, Oden, and Davis will check out.
I think one of the more important players. Somewhat Captain Obvious statement, so I apologize, but Reese Dixon-Waters has been way too quiet in this game for San Diego State.
How about Grand Canyon responding with an 8-0 run of their own after San Diego State closed out the first half with an 8-0 run? Bird flips it up. Compton hit in midair by Owusu Anane. And that will be his second foul.
Good execution on the right side of the floor for the Aztecs. They ran zoom action, and Bird did a nice job getting downhill. Almost executed that lob perfectly.
You know what's great from our point of view? These are the two best defensive teams in the Mountain West, and you sense that intensity with how hard everyone just has to move to try and even get open. Newman, pop a shot is good for him.
Catches that off the dribble handoff and does a nice job curling into the paint.
Owusu Anane does a little bit of everything. Had a chance to maybe attack the rim, instead retreats the dribble for a more conservative approach.
That's what happens when you have Magoo Guath chasing you down. That's one of the best shot blockers in the country.
Moore rises up between two. Demerel mistimes his jump. Aztecs looking to push it. Oh, Bird has it off string. Tough shot, can't get it. Whips it ahead, does Henley. Demerel couldn't handle that one. Turnover, Grand Canyon. It's a 3-point lead for the Lokes. As we take a quick break on the floor. We'll catch the San Diego State squad back in action as they take on Colorado State in another Mountain West showdown Saturday at 6 Eastern right here on CBS Sports Network. Shout out to my man in the blonde fro. He kept that juice for about 45 seconds until we got back on air. How about the Rams this year? Obviously operating with a Hemi in there. You've got the #1 ranked team in the conference when it comes to three-point shooting and makes per game. You love Colorado State in that atmosphere as well.
No question about it. Moby Arena, they always shoot at a really high level at home.
For Brian Dutcher and company, bit of a shock with how GCU started the second half with their aggressiveness. Took all the momentum back from San Diego State. The Aztecs claimed to close out the first half. Walk. Mid-block, rises up over Owusu Anane, no good.
They got to run more action for Bird. He just seems to have the best rhythm for San Diego State with this lineup.
Williams knifing his way to the cup. Oh, Demerel throws it down.
And Demerel has been an absolute beast on the interior.
Helps his double-double case that much more with the offensive rebound put back. A foul on the floor against Owusu Anane. That will be his third.
Watch Demerel come from the weak side. I mean, that's no box out. That's got to be Guath as Compton comes from the weak side to try to help.
That's so hard to stay that connected so quickly. It all begins with the breakdown by Williams at the point of attack to get to the heart of the defense.
You beat me to it,
George
sorry.
Kent.
You beat me
Sorry,
to it.
I like to talk ball sometimes.
That's why you are a true ball knower. But you're exactly right. Williams seems to be getting into the paint at will. And if he's not getting the assist, he's either putting it up on the rim or he's getting the hockey assist to shift the defense.
And that's what Brian Dutcher told his team at halftime. And Stromer will try the three, no good. Blocked with the rebound. He said the only way Grand Canyon can get into the paint is by beating us with the Bird, crossover, flying to the cup, gets it to fall, and one opportunity coming up for one Miles Bird.
Bird on a string here. Look at this dribble cross. Man, that's about as fluid and smooth as it gets. Look the defense off. That's good stuff right there, man.
It's the third foul on Demerel, and Dennis Evans will check in. And Demerel, his energy, activity, and toughness to start this second half helped give GCU the lead back. Now some critical minutes coming up here for the Lopes.
Yeah, he's going to be out for a substantial period of time with those 3 fouls.
Bird adds a little tip to the bill. It's a 2-point lead for Grand Canyon now. Full court press initiated by the Aztecs. Breidenbach in the game will usher it down the floor. Breidenbach back out to Henley. Henley right down the lane. Oh! Got caught up on the rim. Numbers for the Aztecs. Newman pocket pass. Guaf can't get it. We've got haymakers back and forth. No one can connect. Strober, transition. Williams, the drive. Poked up by DeGorville. Out of bounds. GCU ball.
This is like a heavyweight boxing match where it's Rocky Balboa just swinging haymakers back and forth. He got hit on the arm there. Compton got him hit on the arm, and then Guelph tries to get it as well. That was good defense.
They changed the ruling to San Diego State ball. I'm with you. Compton hit the elbow of Henley. That should have been a foul. But Henley in attack mode. San Diego State can tie or take the lead here. They try to go for the lob off target. And just physical play is Henley able to save it to Stromer. Stromer patrolling the baseline. Breidenbach lines it up from the corner. No good. Stromer bats it free. Williams, hesitation against Guelph. Kicks it out. Henley, open look for 3. No good. Rebound. Compton poked away by Stromer. Heads up play. Williams for 3. It's good. No rim necessary.
Williams was the guy that got them the first clean look by getting into the paint and driving and kicking.
How about Stromer keeping the ball alive on 2 opportunities that trip down the floor? 5-point lead for Grand Canyon. Compton knocked off target. Can't get it with the left. 2 players cracked down. Breidenbach slow to get up. Henley to the corner. Smart. Stromer lines up for 3. In and out. Watt snatches it. Breidenbach is slow to defend on the other end. Compton, the catch. Compton, no good on the dunk.
We got some tired legs on the floor right now, Jordan. You know what I love about this game? This game feels like Grand Canyon and San Diego State have been rivals for 25 years.
The 3, no good off the heel. GCU in their first year in the Mountain West Conference, trying to take down the Kings at home. DeGorville poked away by Williams, and a late whistle comes in. GCU can't believe it.
This game is so good. This is such a fun basketball game. DeGorville with a tough behind-the-back cross. Williams is there. A little bit of contact, though.
The second foul on Williams. And a lot of juggling of lineups from coaches because of some of the foul trouble to key players. Dixon Waters coming back in. When does he get going? He's averaged 18 points over the last 5 games. He's sitting at just 2 points on 1 of 6 shooting.
Just a reminder, Grand Canyon has a pretty good bench, but it's not as deep as San Diego State's bench, one of the deepest in the country.
3rd best scoring bench in the nation for the Aztecs. Davis, wild shot with the left. No good. Stromer, another loose ball he claims.
Stromer's got 4 rebounds tonight.
I think they've all happened in the last 2 minutes also. Stromer wants to join the fun. Little hesitation. Picks up the foul on Dixon Waters. A much-needed timeout on the floor for these 2 fatigued rosters. They've been going at it. Lots of hustle on the floor, but Williams, a key 3 to help pace Grand Canyon. They lead by 5. Time now for the Geico play of the game. No surprise here, Mike O'Donnell.
This is one of the best individual dunks I have seen in college basketball this season. This is absolutely ridiculous. Full head of steam behind the back. You got to jump off your weak foot with a 2-handed slam. Jaden Henley, have yourself a game.
Henley with 14 points. 5-point lead for Grand Canyon. Let's take a look at tonight's Intuit TurboTax player profile. We highlight Jaden Henley, favorite NBA player right now. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, favorite class, global business, favorite pregame musician, like you, Yeet. Favorite coach, Drew Fairings. We got dogs, and the dogs have been barking right now for GCU as they are taking it to the top-ranked team in the Mountain West Conference. San Diego State has won 13 straight conference games at home.
This is how they played against San Diego State at home. Almost a carbon copy from an effort, execution, and three-point shooting standpoint.
Williams trying to cook against Simmons. Owusu Onana. His three, no good. Somehow Evans comes up with it, goes up with the left, flips it in.
How did he bring that down, Jordan? Wow.
Dennis Evans, who's only had 11 total minutes in the last 3 games. A key bucket. Dixon Waters still struggling from the field. Simmons, another board.
That's his shot, though. The little 2-foot fadeaway.
Nice cut by Dixon Waters. This time elevates. He's going to go to the free throw line. And San Diego State thinks that should be a goaltender.
I don't think so. I mean, you've got to make the effort to look at it. Good pump fake. Nah, still on the way up.
Still on the way up, yep. And that is the 3rd foul on Stromer. So a couple of key pieces. Getting into foul trouble here now for Grand Canyon.
Dixon Waters, the leading scorer for San Diego State. He's one of the best on the ball scorers in the Mountain West. Just 1 of 7 for the field.
Well, you talked about how San Diego State has a pair of terrific ISO scorers.
Both Dixon Waters and B.J. Davis are 2 of the best isolation scorers in college basketball. And I don't mean that as just saying that because I'm watching film, but analytically, Dixon Waters is 10th, and B.J. Davis is 25th, according to Synergy Sports, in terms of ISO scoring efficiency.
GCU now for about the last 9 minutes has taken it to San Diego State here in the second half. Williams looked it up. Whoa!
Mercy.
Evans scraping the ceiling, catches the lob
on his head.
I have seen a season's worth of dunks in this game, I feel like. Orville. Pocket pass to Simmons. Simmons tied up in a forest of GCU defenders. And that foul will be whistled on.
This is ridiculous. This lob and on Miles Heidi's head. 7'1" Dennis Evans. Playing better and better and better. The staff loves his game. They feel like he has a huge upside. And guess who got into the paints again? Makai Williams, his 3rd assist of the night.
That's the 4th foul on Owusu Onana. You saw Henley pleading to have the foul whistled against him because he realizes they need to keep Owusu Onana out there for everything he does for this team. He now has 4 fouls with over 10 minutes of action left.
Jordan, I know it's a small thing, and you just said it, but the fact that Henley was willing to plead with the referees, it's not just being a great teammate and a great leader. It's being really smart and hyper-aware as the lead guard of everybody's foul situation. That is really good IQ stuff from Henley.
He also has 0 fouls.
Well, he has to know that. Like, some guys just play, right? You can be like, understand the game plan and everything, but he's also hyper-aware of his foul situation and his teammates' foul situation. That's a big deal.
6-point lead for Grand Canyon. Keep in mind, San Diego State used an 18-1 run in the second half against Nevada to pull away in their last game. Henley, step back jumper, looks strong. Dixon Waters will start the break. Cross-court pass, what a find. Davis, 3 in transition, no good. Evans nearly lost it. Here's Henley, 1-on-3 for him. This lope right into the heart of the Aztec defense, flexes on him, picks up the foul, and a chance for 1 more at the line.
You know, he won't get credit for the assist because Henley took too many dribbles, but Dennis Evans made that play happen by keeping that rebound alive and immediately finding Henley, who absorbs the contact, a nice deceleration finish in the full court. Henley was 16 tonight.
He has dictated the pace of this game.
Him and Williams absolutely have controlled the tempo, especially in the second half. I think in the first half, that was back and forth. But in the second half, no question, Henley and Williams have absolutely controlled the pace and tempo.
For San Diego State, no field goals in the last 4.5 minutes. Where do they find any efficient offense at this point?
You have to go to Miles Byrd. Have to. He's the leading scorer. He scored 11 points. Every time he touches the ball, every time they run action for him, Grand Canyon has no answer.
Newman, walled up by Williams to Gorville. Ball screen from Guath to Gorville, sets his feet. It's a long two. Seven-point lead for Grand Canyon. Henley for three, and that's a foul on the floor against Guath as Evans was fighting for the rebound. That's the third foul on Guath. So the foul starting to stack up for the Aztecs. A couple of key positions. Guath with three now. And Chip Davis has three as well. Moore. Over to Stromer. Stromer breaks down the defense. Breidenbach for three. Oh! Nails it. Breidenbach, who's only 11% from outside on the season. A clutch three to give Grand Canyon their largest lead of the night. Newman in the paint. No good. Guath, offensive rebound, ripped away by Williams.
Look at Breidenbach run the floor.
Williams draws two defenders. Breidenbach thought about it for a second. Moore, drive and kick. Williams again into the paint. Elevates, high arcing shot. Drops it in.
No way that went in.
12-point lead for Grand Canyon. The Lopes circling the Aztecs right now. San Diego State, who has been so strong at home, 13 straight against conference opponents, struggling now. It's Breidenbach, the outside three. And then Williams. He has been a maestro in the paint this evening. What a game we have here in San Diego as Grand Canyon up a dozen over the home team Aztecs. And a big reason for that has been the three-point shooting for the Lopes.
I want you to see, freeze it right there. I want you to see Stromer right here. He's going to do what's called a stampede catch. Okay, run it. He's going to start moving as soon as, right before he catches the ball, you see him, he already starts going. There you want to get the momentum and beat the defense. Essentially, you think, I go faster forward than you do backwards on your closeout. And again, another paint touch, another drive and kick, and Grand Canyon is crushing the three-point line right now. They have hit 7 threes in this game.
It's the same story.
Yeah.
Back on January 21st when they got the home win, they hit 10 threes in that game. Is that something you're seeing defensively from San Diego State? Such a concerted effort to take away the drive and to sit back. It's yielding some open looks from outside?
Well, just to kind of counter that a little bit, Jordan, they haven't taken away the drive. I mean, that's what's getting the threes, the drive and kick. The on-ball defense has to get better for Grand Canyon. Keep the guards out of the paint.
Guath for three, no good. Dixon Waters, offensive rebound putback. Still a lot of time left in this game, and we've seen how quickly San Diego State can get back into one. Evans, the catch.
Dangerous position for Evans. He does not want to be in this position. There you go.
And you said it. Throws it away. Williams can't race to it. Aztec ball. Timeout again on the floor. Grand Canyon trying to hang on to a 10-point lead on the road. 10-point lead for Grand Canyon with 7:55 left here. Well, next Wednesday at 9 Eastern, these Grand Canyon Antelopes are on the hardwood again as they host UNLV in more Mountain West action right here on CBS Sports Network. Take a look at some of the top scorers in the Mountain West this season. Dre Gibbs Lawhorn be trying to torch the Havocs and Grand Canyon on the road, but look at some of these other players. MJ Collins we saw in person not too long ago.
MJ Collins Jr. is such an electric but very smooth scorer. Corey Camper Jr. kind of flies under the radar in the Mountain West. He's one of the best off-the-screen scorers that I've seen in the Mountain West this season. He is very special coming off those pin downs and stagger screens.
It's been a tale of two halves here, essentially, where Grand Canyon couldn't hit a shot to close out the first half. They're now 5 for their last 7. San Diego State just 2 for their last 10. DeGorville will scoop it to the cup. Back-to-back buckets for the Aztecs.
Very smooth downhill glide from DeGorville. No help on that from Grand Canyon.
And Mike, you notice Evans turned it over last time. It's Owusu Anane back in the game with those 4 fouls to help break the press. Henley with 17, dumps it off to Williams. Bird defending with that long wingspan. 5 to shoot. Williams over to Moore. The jab step. Moore has to put it up. Picks up the foul as he is tripped up. A heady veteran play by Moore.
Whether it's early in the shot clock or late in the shot clock, even if it's inadvertent, I mean, that foul is going to be called. The guards for Grand Canyon are doing such a good job of attacking off the bounce and getting into the paint. They're either getting driving kicks or they're getting fouls.
It's the first foul on Miles Bird as Brian Moore hits the first free throw.
Let's see on the other end, Jordan. We should be able to see it, and it should be fairly obvious that if I was San Diego State, I would be hunting and trying to attack Owusu Anane. See if you can get that 5th foul.
We've seen GCU switch it a couple of times. It's Bird trying to beat Moore backdoor. Curling is Dixon Waters. He was open for a moment. Newman turning the corner, draws 2. Bird in the corner has to hoist it up. Oh, it's pure.
He didn't even bring that down. He caught it out his chest, shot it from his chest. I tried to tell you, you got to run action for Miles Bird.
7-point lead for GCU. Williams trying to climb the summit. No good. The Aztecs want to run. DeGorville stepping on the gas. Dixon Waters almost traveled, lost the ball. He's tied up. And that should be GCU ball for possession arrow. So Miles Bird, you mentioned, caught it, didn't even dip it.
This is ridiculous. This is a very hard thing to do. Oh my goodness, he didn't even cut it to his chest. He cut at his forehead and shot that. I'm telling you, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that like Klay Thompson does when he catches it up high and he doesn't have to dip. You know you're in rhythm when you're making shots like that.
Bird with 14, 5 of 7 from the field. He had back-to-back games where he scored just 4 points in each game. Moore, the hesitation, quick crossover. GCU still stuck on the perimeter. Henley has the size advantage over Newman. Newman walls him off. Excellent on-ball defense by Newman. Rebound claim by Compton. DeGorville thought about the 3. Newman, the drive. Owusu Anane's got to be careful. No whistle. Great wall up.
Great wall up. Too much by Sean Newman. That acrobatic shot just does not work against the height of Grand Canyon.
Pointed out, according to Ken Palm, the 15th tallest roster in college basketball for GCU. Shot clock at 5 now. Williams trying to step by Bird, picks up the foul. Bird can't believe it. Neither can this crowd. It's another foul late into the shot clock. And this one's against DeGorville as the help defender on the drive.
Sandy, that's a foul. That is 100% a foul. It's not a foul on Bird. That's good wall-up defense for Bird, but that is a foul on DeGorville. It's a reach-in.
He doesn't need to do that either.
Right.
When you've got a capable three-point shooter. Owusu Onane outside.
Well, there's a little bit of that old conversation that you say, you know, trust Miles Bird there. Miles Bird isn't just one of the best defenders in the Mountain West. He's one of the best defenders in the nation. So you got to trust that Bird's going to make the right play there.
Every possession becoming that much more precious with 5:18 left. Williams hits both free throws. Keep in mind, San Diego State, they are, according to CBS Sports Bracketology, one of the last 4 in. This would be a quad 3 loss if they don't close out this game. Dixon Waters.
There comes Bird.
Catch over to Bird. Stromer all over him. Bird, some separation. Baseline jumper. Banks it home.
Come on.
Lead is back to 7 for GCU. Feels like for GCU, as long as Owusu Onane is on the floor, they've got the pieces they need to play their best ball. To the corner, Owusu Onane. Pocket pass, Demerol blocked by Bird. Send it out of here. Simmons fouled in the open floor by Moore. Moore thought he had quick enough hands.
Miles Bird is one of the best shot blocking guard/wings in the country. His timing for his blocks is as good as anybody in the country. It's one of the many reasons why NBA scouts just love his game and will continue to scout him. He is a product of the San Diego State Player Development Program. Minutes increased over the course of time. Tons of work in the gym.
As the second foul on one. Here's the resume. They have a loss at home in double overtime to Troy. That is what's keeping them in that last 4 versus in somewhat securely right now.
That's that quad 3 loss, that lone quadrant 3 loss on San Diego State's resume. They definitely need to add 1, probably 2 more quad 1 wins on their resume.
5-point game. This crowd turning up the volume right now. Henley trapped. Over to Owusu Onane. He's just trying to break the press. Simmons applies the pressure, and now Bryce Drew wants to orchestrate a half-court set here. He's directing traffic. Compton switches on Moore. Demerol down low. Davis was fronting for a moment. 5 to shoot. Compton on an island. Moore can't penetrate. Moore turning around. Won't beat the clock. That's a stop for the Aztecs. Timeout on the floor. We enter the final round between San Diego State and Grand Canyon when we come back. 5-point lead for Grand Canyon. 3:58 left in this one. San Diego State riding the wings of Miles Bird to get back into this game.
And he's been super efficient all game long. He's only taken 8 shots, so he's 6 of 8 from the field. He's knocked down 3 threes. He's had a monster block, a couple of really possession-saving rebounds as well. Miles Bird has been the word for San Diego State. I just think, Jordan, you got to keep running action for him because he's figured out how to identify the gaps in this Grand Canyon defense, but also he's not taking bad shots. If the play isn't there, he gives it up and he swings it. He's just in a rhythm. By far, the player for San Diego State's in the most rhythm is Miles Bird.
Still plenty of time here. San Diego State 11-1 when Bird has 10-plus points. He's got 16. Grand Canyon 8-1 when they hold opponents to under 65 points. Dixon Waters lost it. He has struggled on some of the catches this evening. And Henley is slow to get up. He took a shot to the thigh. Appears to be okay, though, but he's got an extra thick pad on the outside of the shorts there. Henley, the drive goes right by Dixon Waters, and a foul on Dixon Waters. And that is the 7th team foul against San Diego State, and it sends Henley to the line.
See Dixon Waters gets bumped a little bit and then tries to save himself by overreaching. And that's absolutely a foul, 100%. Another great shot by our camera crew.
He caught a shoulder to the chops also as Henley was turning the corner.
It's no secret what Grand Canyon is doing. They're having a hard time orchestrating offense early in the shot clock. And so they're really waiting for the last 8 seconds of the shot clock, and then it's just the guards that are just driving and attacking. And if they're not getting anything, if they're not getting an easy look, they're drawing fouls.
Both free throws good, clutch free throws to make it a 3-possession lead right now for Grand Canyon.
Nice cut.
Saved into the hands for GCU. Williams down the floor, out to Moore. Henley will reset the offense. Henley in the paint, dumps it off. Moore on the baseline. Patient up top to Williams. Williams up and under, finds the glass, gets the angle.
Wow. I'm pretty sure that was 3 paint touches off the bounce from Grand Canyon.
The lead is back to 9, just over 2.5 minutes left. 13-game winning streak against conference opponents here at home for San Diego State in jeopardy. Bird, long 3, no good. Gets his own miss. Dumps it off. Guap finishes.
Good things happen when Miles Bird has the basketball. Keep feeding the bird.
For GCU, you don't mind using all the shot clock now in this situation.
Yeah, but they're trying to trap the ball right now.
GCU in their first year in the Mountain West Conference looking to sweep San Diego State. Henley bothered at the peak. It was Bird that got a hand on it. What a find by Dixon Waters. Bird switching hands, nearly got the and one. That's a foul on Williams. That's his 3rd foul.
This is not a good look from Henley, and Bird gets a piece of that as well. Gets the head-to-head.
So Miles Bird head to the line for 2 free throws. First one feathers in. Makes it a 6-point lead. We have a timeout on the floor. We'll step aside for a quick 30. Grand Canyon trying to hang on the road.
Hi. Hi. Chocolate fundraiser.
With the Chase mobile app, things move a little more smoothly. Deposit checks easily and send money quickly. That's convenience from Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Coming up next, get in-depth highlights and analysis of the latest hoops action as we go coast to coast on Inside College Basketball right here on CBS Sports Network. Timeout was called by GCU. What's going through their mind here for their next offensive possession? Because I imagine they just want to set something up in case Bird misses this free throw.
Well, regardless of make or miss, San Diego State's going to full court press. And they're not going to foul right away. There's still, because of the possessions, there's still, a little too much time on the clock. But they are going to go for traps, and they are going to try to make it as uncomfortable as possible for GCU to cross the half-court line.
Both teams each with 2 timeouts. And the bonus possession arrow favors San Diego State. Quick patty cake back and forth. GCU swiftly breaks the press.
Oh, bad place to throw it.
Moore stuck on the baseline. Demeril caught down low. They were trying to maybe foul him. Williams on the perimeter. Shot clock at 14. 90 seconds left in this game.
Yeah, San Diego State wants to play this possession out. They don't want to foul.
Williams turns the corner on Guap. Blocked by Guap. Demeril right there for the putback. Huge offensive rebound. Dixon Waters, transition three, no good. Williams the rebound.
Where's the press?
7-point lead for GCU. Bird looking in for the steal. He'll be whistled for the foul and will send Owusu Anane to the line.
Guess who gets into the paint again? Williams draws multiple defenders. That's why Demerol is able to get such an easy offensive putback. How good has he been? 13 points, 10 rebounds for Demerol.
That was arguably the biggest play of the game for Grand Canyon, and it gives Demerol a double-double. The lead is now 7, and there are fans inside Viejas Arena heading for the exits early with 1:07 left. This San Diego State team that has just been so dominant at home underneath head coach Brian Dutcher. 67 seconds away from having their 13-game conference home winning streak snapped.
How about Owusu Anane? He's been playing multiple minutes in the second half with those 4 fouls, and they haven't been able to force that 5th foul on him. And Bird's got a hunt for threes here.
He's been one of the biggest keys for breaking the press. Bird turning the corner, up with the right, no good. DeGorville can't get it, poked out of bounds. Watts saves it. Bird passes it over to Davis. Stolen in the open floor. Henley running ahead. Henley, he takes a hard foul. Davis hit him in midair. He hit the floor face first. Appears to be okay at the moment. But that was one of the fiercest crash downs we've seen as Henley was going for the grand slam to close out this game.
To me, that is just a very unfortunate and awkward fall. I mean, B.J. Davis just tries to swipe at him and may have maybe just kind of bumped the hip of Henley midair.
Henley's right leg, as it trails behind, collides with the right thigh of Davis. That's what threw him off balance midair. And to your point, that didn't come across as a intentional push from behind that warrants an additional penalty.
I agree with you. I don't think that was intentional. B.J. Davis was making a play, a swipe at the ball. He didn't try to grab Henley. Henley just had an awkward fall. Thankfully, I mean, Henley's up right now, just kind of shaking his head a little bit. Certainly appears to be okay. He took a tough fall, checking the teeth, making sure he still got all the chompers in there.
Caleb Smith in the huddle told him to smile just to make sure that the moneymaker's okay. But how about Grand Canyon? From the beginning of the second half, they have been the aggressor, which is shocking because how many times have we called games in this building and San Diego State just buries teams with their relentless pressure? And you pointed it out. It was the guards, Moore, Henley, and Williams, that won their one-on-one battles with the ball in their hand and broke down this fortified interior defense of San Diego State.
And more importantly, Grand Canyon is winning the points in the paint battle. It's 30-24 advantage of Grand Canyon. You know, they knocked down 7 threes. San Diego State just 3 of 13 from the three-point line.
The previous foul has been upgraded to a flagrant foul because the shooter was in a vulnerable position when he clipped his leg. Foul will be, it will be 2 shots for Grand Canyon. Anyone can shoot it because of the flagrant foul, but number 10 cannot shoot. And it'll be Grand Canyon ball underneath.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with it either.
There's always a point of emphasis for a defenseless player. Henley goes up. But to me, I don't agree with that at all. I don't think B.J. Davis made an inappropriate play there at all. I think he swiped for the ball. I think he missed. Don't agree with that.
Let's step back big picture here for San Diego State, Mike. This is a team, according to CBS Sports Bracketology, is in the last 4 in. They are 52.4 seconds away from a quad 3 loss. Might change to a quad 2 based on what happens with Grand Canyon's positioning. It's right on the border here. San Diego State is not out of the tournament after this loss.
No.
They have 3 more quad 1 opportunities coming up in the regular season, as well as the Mountain West Conference tournament, where they will be one of the favorites to win. This just doesn't help.
Well said. You're exactly correct. This is something that it's the great thing about Mountain West is there should be multiple teams in from the NCAA tournament. You're always going to have more opportunities for quad 1 wins. But at the same time, you've got a Grand Canyon team that this is a good basketball team. And Grand Canyon right now will be labeled as a quadrant 3 loss for San Diego State. But the way that the season goes, it just doesn't stay as a quad 3 loss. Grand Canyon keeps winning and wins more games. That actually could be upgraded to a quadrant 2 loss.
What about their loss at Phoenix earlier this year? Does that change to possibly a quad 1 loss now if Grand Canyon moves up the rankings?
It could, but there's also 20 other things that have to happen outside of these two teams. It's the difficult thing that can be frustrating to talking about the net ranking. It's not just what you do, it's also what the teams you played in November do and other teams that move up and down of the net outside of even the Mountain West Conference.
How about the performance from Jaden Henley?
Been awesome.
19 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, but has looked so under control against this tenacious San Diego State defense that is known for pressuring players and making them hustle. He has stayed in his own gear throughout the entire night. GCU will inbound. It's Moore up top. Henley on the exchange. San Diego State choosing not to foul at the moment. Looking for the trap. Williams splits 2, and that's stolen by DeGorville. Dixon Waters for 3, no good. Guath, offensive rebound dunk. And a timeout call by Brian Dutcher with 30.1 remaining. We'll stick around. San Diego State trails by 9.
Yeah, a whole lot has to happen in 30 seconds. So if something is to happen in 30 seconds, you either have to get a 5-second count and you get the ball back and no time comes off the clock, number 1. Number 2, you get a trap and then a quick steal, and then you got to make a 3. Then you got to step your press again, and you got to hope it happens 3 more times.
Regardless, if you're Grand Canyon, you probably want the ball in Jaden Henley's hands. He has been masterful this evening. 21 points now.
He's been very aggressive getting downhill, but this is how he's played all season long. He's 6th in the Mountain West in scoring for a reason. He can hurt you at the rim, mid-range, and from 3, and we've seen all 3 levels from Henley tonight. He's got 21 points. He's knocked down a couple threes. Hasn't missed a free throw. 5 of 5 from the free throw line. A couple of dimes as well. He has really been surgical all night.
He had 17 points in the victory back on January 21st. So combined, 38 points in 2 games against one of the best defenses in the country. Moore nearly turned it over. Williams on the baseline, coughs it up. 18.5 left. Aztecs will have to strike very quickly here. DeGorville rushing down the floor. DeGorville right into the body of Owusu Anane. Can't get it, and a foul on Guath as he's coming in for the offensive rebound. And that should do it with 11.6 remaining. And the Lopes headed to the free throw line.
How about the game that the freshman, F.A. Demerol, has had? What a monster, effort-wise, double-double. 13 points, 12 rebounds.
The numbers are impressive, Mike. The physicality and tenacity he showed down low throughout the evening. He wrestled for several rebounds. Simmons got the upper hand, dunked on him one time, but he never backed down the entire night.
And excuse me, just 11 rebounds. I gave him an extra one because of the effort was so aggressive.
I'd give him an extra one with how hard he's been working. It's a career high 11 rebounds for him. 10-point lead. Bird, the long 3, misses everything. 5 seconds remaining. You could say this will go down as one of the most impressive wins in Grand Canyon's history during the regular season. On the road, they snap a 13-game home conference winning streak that San Diego State had, and the Lopes will be a team to reckon with down the stretch of the regular season. Henley leads the way with 21 points. Demerel, the double-double, 14 and 11. As Grand Canyon gets the season sweep over San Diego State. Updated standings here in the Mountain West Conference. Utah State now the lone team up top, and Grand Canyon leaps over Nevada for fourth place and has New Mexico in their sights.